Watch your head. I've never seen Elixni move like this. Mind your vertical, Guardian.
Mayday. Lodi transmitting. Strange matter detected. Singularity opening near local HI and NHI population.
I can't tell when this Mayday was sent. Whoever made it understands the danger this place is.
Ikora, it looks like we've got a blockade up ahead.
A singularity, a distress call, and now another ancient train. But how do they all connect? More importantly, how can we help? The status of the singularity will worsen with time. We can't do anything about that right this moment. But discovering a locking mechanism this complex and a radio transmission that sounds human means we could be on the precipice of encountering another pocket of civilization. By my triage, the most effective thing we can do right now is find the source of the distress signal. The trail we're following leads past the train and scatters. We'll need to get through to find who called for help. The mechanism here appears to be missing some pieces. I've tracked materials nearby that closely match the frequency of the device. Find them, Guardian.
Lodi transmitting. Status moonsick. Adrift. Odysseus protocol active.
Odysseus protocol. We've heard that before. Wait, there's a backlog. Keep moving, Guardian. I'm going to see if these transmissions can give us any more information. Dark matter spike in your vicinity. Could be one of the gravimetric distortions Drifter was talking about. Guardian, you all right? Your vitals stabilized. Oh, must be a fluke.
this sure is new. All your vitals appear to be in order, but your molecules are moving unbelievably fast.
Guardian, this energy pattern is distinct from your expected paracausal signature. It matches the dark matter readings from when we landed. It appears you've managed to somehow fuse with dark matter.
a black hole.
It seems whoever sent our invitation values consistency and catastrophic interference.
About that. I got info, but you're not gonna like it.
Try me.
The gravimetric distortions, the dark matter, the weird train. An invitation? There's only one group of jokers I know who get up to those kinds of theatrics. The Nine.
Well, that certainly is a theory. Although I would expect to have already heard from the emissary if that was the case. I'm going to rerun the telemetry to see if I can find another radio transmission. Get us some answers.
Achieved precarious stabilization, but still request evacuation due to hostile NHI. If we can't close the singularity, we're pulling everyone in with us. Anyone? You out there?
Odd. Timestamp on this transmission doesn't make sense. It comes after the Mayday, but the timestamp says it was recorded many months before. Either someone is intentionally trying to scramble these transmissions, or the singularity is causing more problems than we thought.
was on Luna. We called the Exiles because each of them were exiled from their original house. That's the last of them, and we've got what we need. Let's head back to the train and see if we can't get past that blockade.
No more transmissions on the backlog, and the timestamps are all off. Keep heading for the train. Maybe we can triangulate a location. Suppose you're right, Drifter, and we are dealing with the Nine. You have the most experience with them. What did you observe in your interactions?
Rumor has it the Nine are extra-dimensional. Caught in the gravity of Soul's heaviest case. You know, planets, stuff like that.
You trespass the domain of the once exile, chosen of the giver. I am Archon Prime, sovereign of this world, speaker of the force invisible.
That Elixir wasn't an Archon. I wonder what that was all about. Hold on. This Archon voice is coming from another Elixir. I'm not sure what's going on.
Bring death to the deathless. The destiny of the House of Exile. Strengthen the singularity and ascend.
That voice was coming from another Elixir.
No more transmissions on the backlog, and the timestamps are all off. Keep heading for the train. Maybe we can triangulate a location.
Trespass the domain of the once exile, chosen of the giver. I embark on time, speaker of the voice invisible.
Interesting. That elixir wasn't an Archon. I wonder what that was all
Wake up destruction. One exile falls, and three more rise.
Hold on. Same voice. This Archon voice is coming from another elixir. I'm not sure what's going on.
Exile. I prophesied that death. Creatures cradled and kissed by the infinite curse of the Great Machine. The grand design bids us destroy them. Bring death to the deathless. Fulfill the destiny of the House of Exile. Strengthen the singularity and ascend!
That voice is coming from another elixir. To another. They didn't quit possess, but that required a civilization worth of darkness. Could something have drawn them here? Maybe the high concentration of dark matter is boosting this Archon connection to darkness.
Darkness is about connection of memory, but it doesn't work like that. And dark matter, in spite of the name, has nothing to do with darkness.
So this is something else entirely. Huh. One of the Archon's lackeys dropped something.
Ophiuchus' energy readings are spiking. This is a container of dark matter, the same connected to the singularity. Don't let that go.
Hold it. Who do you work for, and what's your business here?
Telemetry originates at this location, but the signal is weak.
What are you doing here?
We're Guardians, from Earth's vanguard. Circumstances suggest we were invited, but we don't know who sent the invitation.
Earth?
Have you been here a while?
I have journal entries tallying 4 weeks, but my 5 o'clock shadow says a day. Something's wrong with time. It's my job to investigate.
That's the man who sent the distress signal. But he didn't seem in distress.
Something's wrong with time.
I'm curious as to how our contact intends to fix it. But his observations seem to be correct.
And we just got here. There's probably a whole mess of time nonsense just around the corner.
Agreed. This train's temporal presence is concerning.
That's the least of our worries. The real head-scratcher is our new friend saying the people here.
Ikora did say she suspected sentient life.
These Ionians were able to temporarily stabilize the singularity. They prevented their planet from splitting until someone could help. I'm as surprised as you they've eluded us for so long, but this place is shrouded in dark matter. It could have cloaked the presence of sentient life from the outside. Ghost, did you find the source of the distress signal?
We've made contact with Lodi, here in the settlement. He's offered to help us look into our invitation, if we help the people here. He seems trustworthy, but his presence here feels very convenient.
Yeah, by the look of him, I'd say he's as out of place as we are.
This is Lodi. Dre said you received my distress call. Dre asked that I contact the little Sputnik to work with you both on next steps.
Sputnik?
Is there something I should call you? Apart from Guardians, of course.
This is the Guardian. You can call them Guardian, thank you. I am called Ghost.
Pleasure to be working with you, Mr. Ghost. The Ionians are in less dire straits now, but if anything triggers the singularity, we risk losing the planetoid. Between a black hole on one side and the Archon on the other, the locals had no choice but to seal their settlement. They've been trying to track down that capsule you picked up for ages.
Guardian, the trail we followed here to this planetoid is the strongest through that mechanism.
The singularity must be beyond there. Contained thanks to the Ionians. If Drifter's right, the source of our invitation and the source of the singularity are one and the same. are here. Keep this to yourselves for the moment. Our top priority is stabilizing this planetoid, unless the Nine plan to interfere. They're not concerning.
Lodi, we're at the altar.
Mr. Ghost, this is Lodi. Excellent. Go ahead and drink the contents.
Great.
No, that can't be right. You do not want to do that. Just say again, do not drink the dark matter in that container. Guardian, Mr. Ghost, allow me to introduce you to Dean Rebecca, leader of the Ionians.
Dean Rebecca. I've never heard the name Dean. It's beautiful.
Well, the Ionians use a sort of academic hierarchy from what I can tell. And wait, you've never heard the title Dean before? Translating what I can, the Dean's honored to encounter the first centuries. She says the Ionian deity, the thing they call the Holy Anomaly, is on the other side of the altar, threatened by the singularity. The capsule we put into the altar stabilizes rings of the lock to keep the singularity contained. It's a collection of dark matter she called a stone.
Find a solution.
All I know is I woke up here 4 weeks ago in a singed suit. I don't remember how I got here. I know I'm from Earth. I remember my family, but not much else.
That sounds like how a light bearer would wake up. You don't have a ghost.
No, I'm alive. Probably know more about this place than I do. But I do remember hearing Guardians have a complicated relationship with memory. Is there any truth to that?
That's a fairly common question. Guardians forget who we were before our first resurrection. We forget in exchange for the light.
Shame. Feels cool.
You brought them my message, capsized. Find my frequency. I'm not Neon.
No way. Orin. Neon. Orin. What happened to you? I thought you were locked in as the Nine's errand runner. You were gone.
But my memory is a mess. It's all Vesper. Damn it. Rig transponder. You can pinpoint my location.
The hell, Orin? Why do you sound like you need a dream journal?
Patrical. Damn it. I am not adjusting to linear time well. I am no longer emissary. I quit.
Thought you'd ascended or something. Become a higher being. I didn't know you could quit being emissary.
Me either. But with the right motivation, anything is starlight. You'd be proud. I'm molted.
Oh, I have to know what you mean by molted.
Exactly what it sounds like. I wanted my body back. I wanted my will back.
We gotta find her. She only just found shoulders, for Pete's sake. Got your location, Orin. Never thought I'd hear from you again.
Scrambled eggs. I meant to deliver a message, but can't remember what it is. I know the Nine will need a replacement emissary. They will not find one nearby on the X-axis. They will need to search a millennia up and down the Y.
My message found you. I'm Orin, once a Guardian, like you. When I last reached out to the Vanguard, I warned you of the Nine's fallibility. The results of that fallibility are in plain, I think. You will fix it. But that one isn't clear. Everything I knew is scattered. My will cleaved from service and rough-hewn clay. It wasn't bloodless. I know I chose this for a reason. I did. In my memory, when I touch my hand to the moment, I overcome with dissonance, and another shape, buried in noise, assuming my place. I must speak sharpness to the drifter. A tint or knowledge held, still unknown. I'll need your help hunting down the fate that brought us here.
So, Orin, you quit and now you're just here?
Mitosis. Annoying you have to see me like this now. Scrambled eggs and someone else's shoes. How have you been?
Oh, busy. Feet planted on the ground more often than not. Seeing someone new these days.
Oh, good. Good for you. Can't say the same. I've been too busy corralling my electrons. Who are you seeing?
It's, Eris Morn.
have a type, Drifter. I'm happy for you both. Really.
I hear he had a run-in with that Archon fellow. The cutout, anyway. Apparently he's the leader of these exiled Elixni, but nobody's seen him in a long time.
Real recluse. The Ionians say he can speak through the mouths of his followers, like some kind of psychic thing. That's absurd, right? Have you seen this little ventriloquist act? Huh. Well, I'll believe it when I see it myself. I suggest you do a little bang and burn and draw out their leadership. Once we know exactly who we're dealing with, we can do a more realistic threat assessment.
I haven't been very deep into the Exiles' Accord. They aren't fond of visitors. This architecture seems a little out of the box.
We've dealt with Elixni houses before, but this does feel good.
Lodi, I need to be frank. I don't buy your story.
Well, you don't know the half of it. If I wasn't me, I also wouldn't buy my story.
What do you know about whatever brought you here?
Nothing. I woke up here in a singed suit after the most insane fall of my life. It seems the local Elixni developed a parallel form of teleportation. They're using dark matter to create portals. If we want to infiltrate the sphere of influence, we need that capability. Mr. Drifter says you've got the skills for a smash and grab, so I suggest we go loud. Get us a sample of that tech and we'll be in business.
teleportation tech. It's mounted in an old cannon frame. That's handy. Scans show the power cell and space inverter have been tampered with. Those mechanisms have dark matter cores. They'll wear out fast. It looks like this mobile unit creates an entangled link between a jump pad and wherever you're aiming. Just be careful what you point it at.
They're working. You've got some real moves. Normally, agents have skilled at
Wet work of checkered past. Makes me wonder how you came to be so dangerous. With expanded access, we can investigate those Elixni in earnest and find the truth about this so-called Archon. I've got some ideas on that. Catch up with me later to get started.
I've made myself a contact within the Elixir ranks. Apparently not everyone is happy with the way things are being run.
Little sleuth.
That's the idea. Anyway, there's apparently a power station.
All right, Guardian, this has to be the housing power plant. There's a massive current moving through the cables around us. And gravitons.
My informant Keels tells me that power is going straight into a warship.
If we can get to a power plant's controls while it's charging their ship, we can send a lethal surge to it from here before it ever leaves port.
Crafty. And it'll buy time to hunt down the Strangelet capsule in the Accord. If we stopped the singularity from expanding. Stabilized Kepler. Maybe they'll stay down.
A fair chance we talk a psycho like that off a ledge. He's a true believer in whatever psychos believe in.
They are many options. We need to reach that number.
Deathless, why have you come? Glimpses are seen of your actions, but your motive ever shrouded. When my house found Saul, saw the great machine with your world, we left in defeated peace.
It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native sighted colonies. So, the slimes are their generators?
This whole place is wired like a rat's nest. That's worse than my ship.
Patch me into a console and I can override that barrier.
The Deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied? Give her sight one of this final test. I'll be resilient in my house.
Look alive, hero. They're piping in splinter mines. Crazy sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb, Guardian.
Levath sure likes to talk. Making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe he'll pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
You think he's really clairvoyant? Guardian, we need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up. I guess they're trying to unplug. We should hustle up.
Like vile Vex, the Deathless is violence-driven. They cannot be turned away by reason words. Only blood.
Mighty Archon, we hear your prophecy. The Deathless kneels before the Giver with your blessing. Just open the way.
Will, what now?
This was not our tricks. You conspire with metal invaders to keep us from the Giver. To draw our house into folly.
What's your next plan? Stand there with the guns pointed at each other until someone gets cold feet?
So the Archon didn't take the bait, but he mentioned being kept from the Giver. Sounds like, despite their push to the Singularity, something's still cutting them off from it. That means we don't have to rush right in unless they make a move. Maybe there's somewhere else we can apply pressure.
You're a kid. Those things been shooting at you since you landed on this dump, and you still haven't pulled your piece.
That's right. Unlike you, I don't prefer a gun to solve my problems when questions work just as well.
Enough. We may have knocked out their power, but the Archon's still out there. We'll need to be ready when they make their next move.